Welcome back. With the availability of the Pfizer vaccine in St. Lucia, there are concerns about possible side effects in children 12 and older for whom the Pfizer vaccine has been approved. The immunization manager in the Ministry of Health on Thursday explained that the vaccines that are being distributed in St. Lucia are safe and effective.
There continues to be vaccine hesitancy surrounding COVID-19 vaccination. On Thursday, during the live administration of the Pfizer vaccine to children over 12, the immunization manager in the Ministry of Health, Tekla Jabatis, addressed some of the burning concerns, such as the side effects of this vaccine.
Basically, like any other vaccine, the side effects are sort of similar. What we have seen is the same fever, the malaise, the fatigue, the headaches, if they have any body pains, etc. So generally, it's about the same side effects. Of course, we continue to encourage the parents, to how to manage the fevers, if at all. Ensure that the kids are kept hydrated. Yeah. This is very important. It is very important, especially if a child has a fever, to keep them hydrated. So it is important that they have paracetamol. So after,
just like you'd have for other ailments that children tend
that's
to get.
Right, that's right. Yeah.
Fevers, yeah.
And like the AstraZeneca vaccine, these side effects, if at all they experience any, they're normally very mild to moderate and would go away in about 12 to 24 hours.
Jabatis explained that side effects should last no more than 48 hours, but in the event that they do persist and go on for more than 3 days, the medical fraternity should be contacted in order for surveillance to be done. There had been lots of questions as to whether St. Lucia would be able to access Pfizer due to the temperatures at which the vaccine must be stored. Jabatis explained that St. Lucia does have adequate storage for the vaccine.
Well, we know the Pfizer vaccine is cold. It requires ultra cold storage. But the good thing about it is that it can be stored at our temperatures for about 31 days. Okay. So the logistics surrounding the Pfizer distribution to our points of service has to be carefully done. So the bulk of the vaccine, of course, is in central storage, at the ultra cold storage. But when we move, and then we take it across to the various centers.
On August 23rd, the FDA gave full approval of the Pfizer vaccine. Jabatis spoke as to what the term means.
There has been a lot of talk about not being FDA approved and emergency use listing, etc., etc. And of course, that too causing a bit of hesitancy. We know that too would have caused a bit of hesitancy, and that has contributed to the low uptake we saw at some point in the vaccine. Also, we know there are other causes of the low uptake, but there has been a lot of discussion surrounding this. But I just want to assure people that the approval for vaccines, when a vaccine is introduced to the population, it would have gone through the required the trials and the right before it is approved. So even if a vaccine is approved for emergency use listing, it would have gone through the process.
It certainly does not mean that it's unsafe, as some people would like to
insinuate, some people would want
or
to
it's experimental, that it's gone through the trials.
Definitely, it has gone through the trials.
St. Lucians now have the option of receiving either the AstraZeneca or Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzalez.
Protection against COVID-19 starts to reduce within 6 months of people being fully vaccinated with the Pfizer or AstraZeneca vaccines. That's according to the latest research. This has raised the need for booster shots to strengthen the fight against COVID-19. More from the BBC.
More than 3/4 of adults in the UK have now had 2 doses of a COVID vaccine. But how long that protection lasts is a crucial question. Sarah Lesniov, a head teacher, received her second dose in April. But in June, after her family all caught the virus, she became infected too.
Obviously, I'd been shielding at home. I'd been staying in different rooms, keeping doors and windows open, wearing masks in kind of communal areas of the home. So I'd hoped not to get it with my double vaccine, but I knew there was always a possibility of getting it. It was obviously very disappointing to get it in the end. My symptoms were just like those of a heavy head cold, really. I didn't have to stop working. I was working from home throughout that period. I had to rest a little bit more than usual, but I felt like it was a much lighter version than I had the year before.
Sarah's one of a growing number of people who've been infected despite being double jabbed. Today's study by the Zoe COVID team adds to evidence that vaccines lose some effectiveness over time. It found protection from infection with both the Pfizer and AstraZeneca vaccines reduced slightly within 6 months of the second dose. But for most, the vaccines still seem to prevent severe disease.
What this study tells us is that we have to keep an eye on the level of immunity and track it as time goes on so that we can make a prediction 1 month, 3 months, 6 months into the future of when a booster might be required.
And infections have been rising sharply in some parts of the UK. Scotland, where schools have gone back, hit another record high today, well over 5,000 new cases, with more than a third among teenagers and children.
If I was to write a whole number as a fraction...
Experts are warning the new term is likely to be difficult.
So I think we do need to be braced for a challenging period. Exactly how high the numbers will be, it's very, very challenging to predict that. Where I think we can be more confident is that levels of mortality are going to remain low because we have study after study that still shows the vaccines are working.
Cornwall's rocketing rates of infection have been blamed in large part on a music and surfing festival. Preparations are well underway for this weekend's Reading Festival, where thousands will gather. And where there are crowds, there's likely to be COVID. Sophie Hutchinson, BBC News.
The latest challenge to take the internet by storm involves crates, balance and painful falls. As videos of people falling goes viral on social media and accumulate millions of views, the St. Lucia Medical and Dental Association is speaking out about this latest crate challenge.
In the Crate Challenge, a trend which originated on popular social media platform TikTok, participants take on a set of crates precariously stacked in the shape of a pyramid, attempting to climb to the pinnacle and then back down without falling. As part of the intrigue and humor, a devastating fall is what spectators anticipate. As with many trends which originate in the United States, the influence often trickles down to St. Lucian society. Public Relations Officer of the SLMDA, Dr. Monique Monplaisy, is urging St. Lucians to not fall victim to the crate craze.
Good day, my fellow St. Lucians. It has come to our attention that a new trend referred to as the Crate Challenge, which originated in the United States, has become popular throughout the region. The SLMDA wishes to inform the general public that this activity is very dangerous and has the potential to result in serious trauma, which may require ICU admission. Please be aware that there is currently a severe shortage of hospital beds because of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic and a recent rise in cases. Therefore, we would like to strongly dissuade St. Lucians from partaking in said activity.
The Wynwood and Leeward Brewery also released a video condemning the use of its crate for the Crate Challenge, encouraging St. Lucians to stay safe. The SLMDA reminds St. Lucians that the health sector is already under serious strain handling the COVID-19 spike in cases, and any more preventable health disasters would prove to worsen the situation. Reporting for the Hot 7 Nightly News, I am Karim Nelson.
Stay with us. There's more after the break.